I'm Sheba, and today we are going to talk about something really, really powerful, really, really meaningful. Okay, so we're talking about relationships. Ooh, I know everybody's talking about relationships, right? No, but we're talking about releasing relationships that has caused you trauma, drama, and pain, and the importance of releasing these relationships. Now I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot, that I'm done with relationships, especially after a certain age. Of people get a certain age and they're like, I'm done with relationships, usually in their mid 30s to 40s or something like that. And they say they're done. How sad is that? I think that's really sad. That every time I hear that, that kind of hurts my heart, you know? And I know that after a certain point, after being hurt so much within a relationship or within relationships, and we're talking about like romantic partnerships, marriages and, those kind of relationships. Some friendships, sure, but mainly we're talking about romantic relationships. And after being hurt so many times, it's like you don't want to open up to nobody else because you think it's going to be the same old, same old. And a lot of times it is the same old, because now you are stuck with a certain energy of pain around relationships. So you keep drawing those same relationships to you, or that same kind of pain to you, just a different person. Now, of course, that pain, for the most part, it started maybe perhaps in your first relationship, so with your parents, or maybe in your first teenage relationship, But I do think it's just really disheartening when I see people say, I'm done with relationships. I'm not dating no more men. I hear a lot of women say that. I'm done with dating because, for whatever reason. And I usually don't hear men saying that, but sometimes I do. But then it's a little different story because they feel like they can't live without, intimacy, closeness, intercourse. Okay, let me put it like that. So yeah, they're still pretty much on a hunt. They still want, a relationship, but not on an emotional level. But a lot of men, they still feel like, okay, well, I'm never really going to get the relationship that I want. So let me just kind of focus on my work and that's it. Or let me just not even care about my body anymore or care about my goals. Let me just kind of give up. I've seen that a lot, because a lot of times just, a masculine energy, they work for relationships, if that makes sense. They work to get a family, and then they'll work for that family, if that makes sense, to have that stability. But a lot of times if they give up on relationships, then they give up on a larger part of life. And it's just disheartening to see that. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. It really, really is, because we don't have to hold on to that pain. We can let it go. Now, I know we get so wrapped up in the pain and what has happened in the past, what has transpired in the past, but it doesn't have to continue to haunt us. Now, of course, we all know, y'all hear me say everything happens from the inside out, and we know that, right? So with a relationship release session, you will go inside to release what you no longer want to hold on to as it relates to relationships. You will release certain relationships. It's more than a cord cutting ceremony. It's more than like a full moon cord cutting ceremony, I think they called. A cord cutting ceremony, the cord could grow right back. Okay, so a lot of times those don't work. The release session is more about letting go of the pain, letting go of the drama that surrounded the relationship, the energy of the relationship, the hurt, the suffering, the insecurities, whatever kind of emotions were surrounding the relationships, the dominant emotions, those will be released. And I'm sure it works because I myself have been a person to hold on to relationships longer than I should have. And therefore, I got more pain from the relationship. Okay, so I definitely know about holding on to poor relationships, allowing them to affect me emotionally and how I look at other people, other relationships, and then attracting those same kind of relationships to me, if that makes sense. And definitely, being an intuitive person, being an empathic person, you definitely pick up on people's energy. So even if I sometimes let go of the relationship, it's like that other person is still, or has been still kind of, emotionally or energetically stalking me. That happens a lot. And I know, of course, I'm not the only one, because I have a lot of clients to where they'll tell me like, I'm still dreaming about this person, and I don't want to dream about them. What's going on, Yeah, that person is energetically, emotionally stalking you. And they have unresolved issues pertaining to the relationship that they don't want to deal with. And maybe you have unresolved issues pertaining to the relationship that you didn't want to deal with. Like, had you learned everything that you feel like you were supposed to learn from the relationship, So that's a big part. As far as releasing too, you want to be clear about what you have learned from the relationship, what the relationship was for. Every relationship gives us some type of learning lesson, and it doesn't look like, oh, I learned I wasn't supposed to be with people like that. No, it's more so I learned that to love myself more, to release people sooner, as soon as I saw the red flags at the on jump. It's more so like that versus kind of just brushing it off on the other person. We do have to take full responsibilities for the people that we let into our lives. Because we let nobody held a gun. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that word, but nobody put a weapon to your head and said, you have to take on this relationship, And so, definitely, once you let go of what has tied you to that relationship, and once you release those negative feelings and emotions, and you can block that person energetically. You don't have to keep having dreams about them or allowing them to haunt your thoughts and things like that. So once we do all of that, or you do all of that, you can then bring in a relationship that is healthy for you. You can bring in a happy, healthy relationship that is based off of love and trust with a strong foundation. Okay. So pretty much the steps to releasing a past relationship is pretty much kind of the same as releasing anything. There's different avenues that you can go down to release a past relationship, depending on how much you want to release or how many different relationships you want to release. Let's say if you want to release like a bunch of relationships at the same time, you could do that, or if you want to make peace with a bunch of relationships, maybe you don't even need to release all of them, but you need to make peace with them. And because maybe you have like 3 or 4 relationships that you need to release those people, or you need to really understand, what did I learn from them? What was this relationship meant to teach me? Okay. So there's different avenues we can go down as far as it concerns releasing different relationships. But I kind of wanted just to hop on here and talk about that for a minute. Let's see, is there anything I really didn't talk about releasing relationships? I know everybody has known people that has been too hurt to have a relationship. Okay. And nowadays, maybe that might have flown back in our grandparents' days to where it's like, okay, well, we're going to stay married no matter what. People don't want to be in an ugly marriage anymore. They just don't. And even like a lot of people are not being together. And a lot of people are not going to stay together just to say, oh, I have somebody. That way of doing relationships is pretty much done. I mean, some people still do it. Absolutely. Some people still do it. But we're moving into a place where, no. Just like everything, just like parenting changes, marriages changes. You know, marriage throughout society, throughout different times, it changes. You know, there was a time where marriage was just for strictly survival. It wasn't really, much intimacy in there. But now we are at a time where people want real relationships, real healthy partnerships. And so in order to have a partnership, you can't have all of this, a healthy partnership anyway, you can't have all of this pain. You really have to do the work on yourself to understand what you are getting from the relationship and what you are willing to give to the relationship in a healthy way. So, and a lot of that requires letting go of those past pain relationships, okay? Because I'm so sick of hearing it that I don't want a man anymore. They just cause you trouble. I mean, come on. Like, I'm just saying, like, it can't be that bad to where this person that you have been with for a certain amount of time, let's say you've been with somebody for 10 years, I don't know, 5 years, 3 years, and you base every other person off of them and just blanket somebody as a whole and say, oh, all men are like this or all women are like this. That's pain. That is not the truth. That is absolutely not the truth. That is speaking to your pain body. And so as you let go of that pain, of those scars, you definitely want a relationship. You're just speaking off of, you're hurt. That's it. So do it for yourself. If you have children, do it for your children. Do it for, your soul. Do it for you. Let go of it. All right, well, I'm about to hop off. I hope this helped. Definitely like the video, share it. And if you feel like if you feel like somebody could get something from it, please share it. And also subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on the next one. And I'm sending you so much love and so much peace. And have a good one. Bye-bye.